I couldn't believe it. And I was just like, I was like that. I was just shaking, and it was, I couldn't believe it. Her name was Molly, and that's who I ended up getting married to, and then we had a couple kids of our own. One of the things about Molly was holidays were everything. Like, she would make holidays so special for those kids. And what ended up happening is, it was October of 2014. It was a Saturday. The kids were home and were playing in the house. She was in the playroom, and all of a sudden she was having trouble breathing. I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. She couldn't even speak. And the kids, I told the kids, I said, Mom's not feeling well. You guys got to stay out of here for now. Her eyes kind of rolled up a little bit, and there's like a little, the mouth, and I was terrified. It wasn't right, and I called 911, and they were sending somebody, but it was going to take time, and she was out at that point. She was not conscious, and I took her and I put her on the ground, and I didn't know how to do any mouth to mouth or anything. They talked me through it on the phone. They had me, on her chest and all that kind of stuff, and I did what I could, but she was out. And so they put her in the car, and I went out back with the kids. I said, you guys, we just gotta pray. Mom's really not doing good. And I was just praying like crazy, please, And there was a female doctor. Finally, she came up to me and said, we did the best we could, but she's gone. And I mean, she was 43, just, we didn't know. It's not like she had something for a while and was sick, and we had time, and she was just gone, and I walked out, and I just screamed. I just screamed as loud as I could. I just wanted out of my body. I wanted out of my skin. Like, my skin felt heavy. My body just felt like it was crushing me, and I just wanted to just not to be dead, not to be gone, but just for a minute be out of all that weight. And then I had to go home, and I had to go home, and I had to be with the kids. And that was probably the longest night of my life. No matter what I was feeling, I knew it was way worse for them. It was my sole purpose at that moment to be there for them. One of the things I said to myself is, I don't care what I have in the tank. If I'm totally out or what, I'm gonna make these holidays awesome for these kids. I'm gonna, Halloween's gonna feel like Halloween, and Thanksgiving is gonna feel like Thanksgiving, and Christmas is gonna be, and I think it almost killed me, but I did it, and I really pushed myself to make each one of those holidays what they were, because they had already lost enough. And that was a big part of the beginning of their healing. At the same time as I'm just being crushed and feeling all these things, I had to pull it together and be there for them. Out of such a dark and terrible thing, there is an amazing thing that you find out about yourself, because every morning you wake up and you're like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? You feel like just not even getting out of bed, but then you gotta pull yourself out, you gotta wake up the kids, and you gotta make breakfast. Every day you do it, and you get through the day, and you get to the end of the day, and it's nighttime, and somehow the strength is there. So one of the things, though, that happens when you go through something like that, and you kind of look at your life and you realize, wow, it's fragile, man. If life is going to be this fragile, what do I want my life to look like, and what can I do to get there? I said, okay, I'm going to have to change what my job is for sure. I want to do my dream again. That's where Outstanding Foods was born. And really, for the first time in my life, no joke, for the first time in my life, I was actually directing my life. Even though I was in this shitstorm, I was in hell. I was miserable. I was crying all the time. And yet at the same time, the healing was already starting. I was starting to take charge of my life. Most of us, our life is kind of a combination of, what we meant to have happen and what kind of came our way. And so your life becomes this kind of thing that maybe wasn't quite what you wanted. And I remember even thinking things like, oh, I don't deserve that. Oh, I don't deserve to be successful. I don't deserve good things happening to me. My entire being was controlled by fear. I was afraid of stuff, and so I avoided it, and then it just didn't happen, but it was stuff that I wanted to do too. People say, you don't want to get to the end and have regrets, and in order to get to the end of the path and not have all the regrets, you're going to have to make that choice at some point. A few years ago, I knew that when I got to the end, there was going to be a boatload of regrets, and now the regrets have fallen away. And I think that, I think that's how it all aligns. You have this gift you're given, and you have this passion. If that's the thing that's going to drive you, if that's the thing that's going to make you excited about being alive. I mean, there's so many things in life that are burying us and pushing us down and making it hard to get up in the morning. If that's your thing, you just got to find your spot and you got to go for it, and honestly, I used to feel like I was drowning all the time. I was trying to find air and trying to breathe, and it's not like that anymore. After all of that darkness, there's light, and this is me driving the car now.